Chapter 11. Alison, Mariah, and I drove back to the office. While Alison had already put in a lot of glam ahead of tonight, Mariah and I still had to get ready for our final dates at Cleveland Dating Week. Even Mariah had managed to lock down 2 final dates, although she wasn't excited about either of them. We were a couple of minutes away from the office and cruising down Cedar Road when I saw Tomaz Gallagher out of the corner of my eye. He was walking down the street like a free man who was not wanted by the court system. "Stop this car!" I bellowed, and Mariah pulled the brakes faster than ordering a fast food order. Alison had been sitting in the back, and upon the brakes, hit the seat in front of her with her whole body before crumbling into a pile of laundry on the floor of the car. "Tomaz Gallagher!" I said, pointing to the sidewalk. Mariah swerved into a spot on the street. I jumped out and began to run towards Tomaz, who had not seen us. Mariah got out of the car and immediately looked at the meter. "Shoot, does anyone have any coins?" Mariah questioned. "Alison?" "What the hell?" Alison snarled. She was not in a good mood with the whole break and park the car last second situation. "What's the problem? Do you have a bathroom emergency or something? I know Stampies can be rough, but we're almost back to the office." "No, a skip is walking down the street. A very elusive skip." I turned back around. "Can we go?" "What about the meter?" Mariah's concern for paying the city of Cleveland a quarter seemed a bit manic. "You could pay for a ticket with the money we will get out of Tomaz. Let's go." Mariah made sure the car was locked and worriedly eyed the meter. Alison pulled out her gun Richard from under her shirt. It now explained the weird bulge that I had noticed at Stampy's diner, but had decided not to comment on. "I'm gonna shoot him full of holes," Alison yelled, waving Richard around like one of those car sale inflatable men who flew all over the parking lot. "No, you are not," I snapped. "We're not here to kill Tomaz Gallagher, maybe maim, but more importantly, we are to bring him to the Cleveland Justice Center unharmed. Relatively unharmed. Besides, you can't shoot with a penny." "I could shoot a penny if I wanted to." "Not even if that penny was right in front of the chamber." The 3 of us crept across the sidewalk, hoping that Tomaz wouldn't turn around. If he had turned around at that second, he would find a stout, thick woman waving a gun, a mean-looking gothic girl, and a scared yet determined guy leading the charge with a sassy power walk. What a group. We were a few feet away from Tomaz, and victory was in sight. I could taste the money that would come out of returning Tomaz Gallagher to the Justice Center, and that was when victory was lost. "Stop right there, Alison yelled out of nowhere. Both Mariah and I froze, as if we had activated lasers in a museum. Tomaz Gallagher swung around like a bat before bolting. He was a fast man, and he made the 3 of us look extremely unathletic. "After him!" I screamed in an attempt to provide motivation, but that didn't get us far. Alison gasped and ran 4 steps before stopping. I can't do it. Let me go get the car," Alison called out from behind us. Mariah tossed her the keys, and Alison dropped back. Tomaz had now run across the street and was turning a corner. "We gotta split," I ushered Mariah. "I'll follow him. You cut through the side alley to try and catch up to him." Mariah split off from me while I caught up to Tomaz. My whole body was on fire. I could feel my organs screaming, and my naturally dehydrated body demanding water, or better yet, some sweet drink. I wasn't skinny, I wasn't large, but I was not designed to be sprinting. Tomaz had gotten cocky because I was catching up to him. He noticed I was on his tail and smirked. "Lost 2 already," Tomaz pointed out. "Soon to be 3. My rapidly beating heart wanted to agree, but my spirit refused. Mariah suddenly came out of nowhere and came at Tomaz from his flank. Tomaz was dumbfounded, and so was I. For once, we seemed really coordinated and in our element, like a celebrity managing their own skincare company or beauty brand. There was a screech of tires burning on rubber. Alison, driving Mariah's car, barreled down the street. Alison appeared set on gunning it at Tomaz. Mariah and I both screamed and ran out of the road. Tomaz followed, and Alison flew right by us. Alison attempted to clip him on the sidewalk, but swerved to avoid parked cars. Mariah and I were momentarily traumatized, and Tomaz Gallagher had slipped away. A few cars slowly drove by the scene, perhaps unsure what they had just witnessed, all looking like the Scream painting. Alison parked the car in a metered spot, and Mariah and I quickly entered the car. "What did you think was going to happen?" I screamed. "Calm down." Alison ignored my question the way a politician ignored a question about policy. "I was trying to knock him over." "And kill us? I knew you'd jump out of the way. I know you like the back of my hand." Alison turned her hand and then stared. "Why didn't anyone tell me I had dry knuckles?" Alison questioned. "Get me back to the office. I need to get ready for my date." As if they were filming this for a reality show, the final dates for Cleveland Dating Week were happening at Edgewater Beach, the only beach in the Cleveland area. They had set up a bunch of cheap chairs and tables by the beach in a romantic setting. All of the participants were supposed to have one or potentially two final dates. The idea was that you went to tomorrow's prom with one single person picked out from the dozens of people you talked with throughout the week. A ton of people had already dropped out of Cleveland Dating Week. Some had found no matches earlier in the week, some found the whole thing stupid, and others had luckily found someone quickly and decided to abscond the entire process. Jonah was already waiting for me at our small table. "They gave us white wine, is that okay?" Jonah asked, holding up the small wine bottle. "I'm more upset by the size of the bottle," I snickered. "How much are we paying for this experience again?" "Way too much." "So do you have 2 dates tonight or just me?" "Just you?" Jonah raised his glass. "Why just me?" I asked, not able to help myself. "Well, the one guy was nice, but we weren't compatible. The other guy turned out to have a couple red flags, possessive jealous type, but not in a cute way, in a fucking scary way. The other guy, well, if I'm being honest, he was an awful kisser. Bunch of teeth and mashing, unredeemable." "The kiss tells you 100 things," I sung poetically. "I haven't even had wine and I was acting stupid." "So what does your kiss tell about you?" Jonah asked, leaning forward. We kissed over our little table, which shuddered probably from our weight onto it. The lights almost slipped off the table, but at least the wine was safe. The kiss was everything. Comfort and safety, romantic and sensual, hot and heavy. It was a perfect kiss. "Any answers?" I asked when we separated. "Tons," Jonah smiled. "So we haven't talked much about serious stuff. Marriage." "Meh, I'd rather have a great relationship than worried if I'm married to the person." "Kids?" "On what money and time?" "Moving in with your partner after a certain length of time." "Probably at least 2 years." "Lifestyle?" "Glamorous, but poor." "You've definitely passed my test. Although for lifestyle, I would have said poor, but glamorous." I should have failed the test." I considered it, but decided to be nice. "Where do you see this going?" "I see this going from the beach to the parking lot." "Matty, be serious." Jonah prodded me, even though I could tell that I had made him laugh. It's hard to think too far in advance," I remarked. "Life is hectic. Work is hectic. This week alone, I'm trying to capture a practical ghost of a skip, and I'm helping Cleveland's richest sex worker get her family's diamond ring back. It's hard to be thinking anything long-term." "But you want something long-term." "I do, but some people make it look really easy. I just know I'm not easy. My life isn't easy." Damn, what corny-ass Grey's Anatomy speech ripoff was I giving right now? Jonah took in my words seriously. "But you think you can get there with me?" "If not you, I don't know who." That's what I like to hear. "Just don't ask me to be official for a couple weeks, deal?" "Who says I'm the one asking you to be official and not the other way around?" "It's applicable for both of us," I snorted. "Are we going to crack open that small bottle of wine?" We shared the wine and talked, letting our subconscious wander on topics. He asked me more about work, and I was happy to indulge. Night fell across the beach, and the partygoers appeared to wreak havoc. This was not the best venue. Jonah eyed the nearby partygoers. Edgewater Beach turns into a party after 8. It was true. Gone were the families trying to have cute barbecues and sandcastles. Now it was filled with Bluetooth speakers, secret hidden booze, and loud people. "Why does Cleveland only have one beach?" I questioned. "Ask the mayor," Jonas asked, "or someone who does politics." I said goodbye to Jonah with another kiss and met up with Alison. "So, how was your date with Leroy?" "It was fantabulous." Alison sighed. "He's just everything I wanted." "But you had him. You married him. And it turned out he was not what you wanted." "People change." Alison shook her head. "I can't hold him for the sins of his ancestors." "Ancestors? It was his sins." I just like him too much." "You like the sex. Is that it?" Alison tried to find an excuse, but couldn't come up with one. "Okay, so what? It's good sex. I mean, does that mean I need to write him out of my life?" "You already technically wrote him out of your life." Mariah approached us, and I immediately cocked my head. "You're done with both dates? It's only been an hour and a half." "I'm going with Mark." Mariah looked dissatisfied with the entire night. "The other guy was a bit of a perv." "You don't like pervs all of a sudden?" Alison wanted to know. "Huh." "Don't act like that's a shock," Mariah hissed. "Mark is a gentleman." "If he's a gentleman, then why is he with you?" I joked, which got another nasty look out of Mariah. It appeared that it was time to call it a day, and so we went to our cars for the evening. I drove home and noticed Claudia and Haley parked outside of my place. Both were standing outside of their car, leaning on it like they had been waiting for a long time. "So, how do you feel?" Claudia asked. "How do I feel?" I questioned. "I guess I'm okay." "We meant feel about the names we gave you," Haley sharply snipped. "Hello, all of the people who have gone missing because of Maxamillion?" "Oh, that!" I said, as if remembering a casual detail about something minor. "Oh, that?" Claudia repeated my reaction with disgust. "What do you mean? We gave you Maxamillion on a plate." "It's confusing because why would Maxamillion kill these people? They're just all so different from each other, you know?" Claudia and Haley both soughed. "We just know the bodies are related to Maxamillion. Trust us," Claudia said in a tone which didn't convey much trust. "I don't know why he killed these people, but I know these people are all casualties from Maxamillion. Let's be real. You're trying to get something back from Maxamillion, right? So use the names we got you and make a case or something. Go to the cops." Wait a millisecond. Since when did these two want me to go to the cops? That was like a lion wanting me to report their findings to a zoo. I figured I wouldn't call that logic out, but my suspicions over their information was now at an all-time high. "This all feels weird, don't you think?" "No, not at all," they both said at the same time. "If you don't know how or why Maximilian killed these people, then how do you know he did? And you were following us right from the beginning. That first car incident happened right after Vegas came to us. So how did you know that quickly that Vegas was coming to get help on Maximilian?" Claudia and Haley eyed each other a bit. You know, this has been great, but we have to go." Haley jumped into the car and started the engine. "See you soon, Matty." "Later, Matty," Claudia added as their car drove off. I was beginning to believe that perhaps these people had not gone missing because of Maxamillion after all. I walked inside to find my roommate, Ramona Jelly Bexley, eating ice cream right out of the pint. "Sup?" Ramona's voice was the epitome of neutrality. "Not much." "Nice." "You?" "Same." Jelly took another large bite of ice cream and gave me a look that implied she didn't have much to add to the conversation. Sometimes I wanted a roommate who talked a bit more and was around. Jelly often stayed at her boyfriend's and spent a lot of time traveling, but on nights like this, our minimal discussion was perfect. "Night." "Night."